everybody, welcome back to Red Mug Music. I'm Brian, and before we get started, if you haven't done it yet, or if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and also click the bell, because whenever I have a new video come out, which should be every Sunday, you'll be the first to know. And also we're going to have a random drawing for the chance to win a Red Mug Music decal. So stay till the end of the video and you can find out how you can win that decal. Okay, now what we're going to do today is one of the things that I really like to do is a reconstruction. Now we're going to reconstruct Duran Duran's The Wedding Album. It's not really called The Wedding Album, but that's what all the Duran Duran fans call it. So we're going to call it The Wedding Album. Now, the reason why I wanted to reconstruct the Wedding Album is because I think the Wedding Album is not that great. If you look back at my previous video when I ranked all of Duran Duran's studio albums, you'll see that I put them at number 7 overall, and that's because the album is too big. There's too much information. No, there's too many songs on it. Now, after the CD age kind of broke out, these artists kept thinking that they just need to fill the CD up with all kinds of stuff so the consumer, you and I, will get our money's worth. And I think that was just a terrible idea, because you're just throwing junk in there that you normally wouldn't have in the first place. So today we're going to fix that. Now, the album originally, the way it was put out is 13 songs. It's over an hour. It's like an hour and 2 minutes, which is way too long. And what we need to do is cut it down under an hour. I prefer somewhere around the 45-minute mark, and I really like 9 songs. Now, a little bit more about the information. Duran Duran are Simon Le Bon, John Taylor, Nick Rhodes, and Warren Cucurullo, I think is how you spell it, or how you pronounce his name. They were Duran Duran, so they really didn't have a drummer. And they used several drummers and percussionists and other people playing instruments and singing backing vocals as well. So there was a lot of people involved, but those 4 were the main 4. Now, they just finished up Liberty. Now, if you remember Liberty was not that good. I personally think Liberty is okay, probably just because where I was when it released. I was in college, and I listened to it a lot, so I got really used to it, and it's got Sirius on it, and I really like it. But it was really, overall, a huge failure. So when they went back to the studio to record another album, I know the record company was watching this. You hear my dog. The record company was watching them closely, because this was what probably felt like to them a do-or-die project. Now, like I said before, I had ranked them number 7 in the ranking video that I did on Duran Duran, and I'll list that in the comments down below if you haven't seen it. I don't have that many videos yet, because Red Mug Music is still a pretty young channel, so you can pretty much find it, but I'll put it down there anyway. And I put it as number 7 because there were a lot of Liberty-esque sounding songs that were on that Wedding Album, and there were a few what I consider embarrassing songs. So I just wanted to take those out and just let the good songs of the album just be in the spotlight and shine, and have those songs not be surrounded by a bunch of junk. So in order to dig these great songs out, the first thing I did was remove 4 songs. I removed Drowning Man, Shotgun, Sin of the City, and To Whom It May Concern. Now, before you get upset, if those are songs that you like, actually, besides Shotgun, they're all really okay songs. Actually, Drowning Man, I don't like it. I don't like the dance. I don't know. It's not a good sounding song. Just think of it this way, it's not that they're not good songs, I just didn't think they fit here. Of course, they're going to have future albums released in the future. Maybe they can, kind of sprinkle them in. So just think of it that way. We're not forgetting about them. We're just going to use them later. Or, if I were part of this process, I would want to use them later. So what we're going to do is, now we have 9 songs, and I'm going to try to find a really good order to put them in so the album sounds really good. It's going to keep your attention. It'll be interesting. It's going to have a good flow, and it's just going to be great. And I think I've done that. So the first song that I am going to put in there is Too Much Information. I'm just going to keep it the same way it is. That song, if you listen to it, has a really, it's just got an opening act kind of sound to it. It sounds like it should be there. It sounds good. It has a good feel to it. And again, that first song kind of sets the mood. The first song or first two songs really sets the mood for the rest of the album. So I think this one's perfect. All right, now for the second song, I wanted to create a little bit of anticipation.
With anticipation.
By doing that, I wanted to put something else in instead of what was normally there, which was Ordinary World. And I decided to put Breath After Breath. Now, Breath After Breath is a really fun song. Again, it's got a really good sound to it. It's got a good feel. And I think following Too Much Information, it's really a good 1-2 punch. It's got backing vocal, and I always forget that guy's name. I wrote it down here, Milton Nascimento. I don't know how to say it. But you know, it's the other guy who's singing in a different language. He sings back up, and it's just a really cool song. It's one of the songs that they released also. So I feel like that we need to hold back, dropping one of the huge songs off the album and put that in instead. And then at number 3, I'm going to put Ordinary World. So I think the anticipation pays off. Ordinary World sounds really good after Breath, and it doesn't slow the album down on song number 2, even though it's a really great song, one of the best they've probably ever done. It's still a kind of a slow song, and it's going to slow down the pace. So I wanted to get the feel in first and have everybody kind of feeling good about the album with the first 2 songs, and then throw them, the freaking diamond with Ordinary World. So I think that works out really good. Now, the 4th song, I originally didn't have it in there, and then I decided, well, it's actually going to fit here pretty good. So I put Love Voodoo right after Ordinary World. And if you ever notice, you ever listen to him singing, it's almost like he's singing like he's in a trance. So, and the song's called Love Voodoo, so it's quite kind of fitting. So, yeah, it's pretty nice. I like it there. So I think it sounds really good following up Ordinary World, and we're still interested in the album. So, and then at number 5, I put in another great song, None of the Above. Now, I read somewhere this song supposed to be like a Prince sounding song. Now, I'm a huge, I've seen him twice, Prince fan. And I don't see the connection with this song and Prince. I mean, maybe if it's got a little bit of a funk sound to it, that's not enough for me. I don't hear it. If you know the connection between None of the Above and Prince, comment down below and let me know, like, what am I missing? What am I not hearing that some other people are hearing? And let me know what that is. But anyway, I put it at number 5 after Love Voodoo. Then after Love Voodoo, I put in another song that they say sounds like Prince, and I don't get it, which is UMF. UMF stands for Ultimate Mind. I won't say the rest. That's what it stands for. So Ultimate Mind blank. I'm not going to say it. Again, I have no clue how the song sounds like Prince. If you know, let me know. Comment down below. Let's maybe you can educate me on where that is. Maybe I'm just not seeing it or hearing it. I don't know. So let me know. I thought about removing this one also because Simon Le Bon does his talking thing instead of singing at the beginning, which I'm not a fan of. I think he has too good of a voice to be just talking. But the song actually gets much better as you listen to it. And by the middle and the end, I'm loving the song. So I went ahead and threw it back in, and that'll be my number 6 song. Okay, and then number 7 is Come Undone. Now, Come Undone, of course, Come Undone. Another fantastic song. I think we waited long enough for another big hit, which we're actually closer to the end of the album. So again, there's that anticipation. If I feel like I'm able to keep your attention with the songs in the order that they are in, that you'll listen to each song, and then once this comes up, Come Undone, you're excited to hear it. Now, I don't know if you remember when this song actually came out, but do you remember the drum track? Did you think when you heard it that it sounded really familiar? Now, this probably doesn't, probably people who, heard the song years later that are younger probably wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But if you remember when the song was released, you heard that drum track and went, that sounds very familiar. Well, it was familiar, and I did a little bit of digging and found out this was sampled, or actually not sampled, it was just pretty much recreated from a band in the 70s called the Soul Searchers, and the song was called Ashley's Roach Clip. And like I said, it was in the 70s, maybe like around 1974. But if you listen to that song, you can hear it. Actually, you can hear it really well, like well into the song. I think it's like 3 minutes into the song somewhere. You can hear that part. You can hear that drum track. And other bands like Jody Watley, PM Dawn, Milli Vanilli, and I'm going to go old school here, real old school, Eric B. and Rakim, Slick Rick. It was one more, I can't remember. But anyway, those use that exact same drum track. So I think Duran Duran wins. Like who used that drum track and made it sound the best? Duran Duran did. So anyway, Come Undone. So now we've heard number 7, Come Undone. Now number 8, I'm going to throw in Femme Fatale. Now this song gets a lot of bad press, and I'm not really sure why. It's a Velvet Underground song, and Duran Duran, they knocked this one out of the park. Now, maybe it's, it's comparing Velvet Underground to Duran Duran. I'm sure people who like Velvet Underground are going to say the Duran Duran version is no good because it's not as cool, but if you had never heard of the Velvet Underground song, you would have never thought anything of it. I actually like the Duran Duran version better. So it's fantastic. I don't care what they say. It's a really great song, and I think it fits right here perfectly as the number 8 song. And then the last song, I'm only going to use 9, as Shelter. I put Shelter here just really because it didn't really fit anywhere else, and it kind of has that sound to it as though it kind of has this is it. This is going to be the final track of the album. And those 9 songs in that exact order is how I've been listening to it all week long. And I have saved it on a playlist, which I will put on my Instagram page, so you can have that playlist if you want to create that yourself. And I would recommend it because it's got a really good flow. It sounds really good. It gets rid of all that fat that you really don't need, and it makes the song, if they had done this, if Duran Duran had called me, hey Brian at Red Mug Music, can you sequence our songs for us? And I think I could have made this album closely almost rival Rio. But that's it. That's the album. Check it out. Listen to it for yourself. Comment down below. Tell me what you think. So again, thanks for hanging out with me today. And like I teased at the beginning of the video, I'm going to be giving away a Red Mug Music decal. And here's how you can win it. All you got to do, it's simple. Subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to pick a subscriber by random, and then in my next week's video, I'll announce who that winner is. It's going to be completely random, and the winner is going to get that Red Mug Music decal. So be sure, if you're watching the channel, make sure you subscribe. That's all you got to do. It's that easy to enter into the contest. And maybe later on, if I can get enough participation, I want to give stuff away like albums. So let's see how this is. If I can get enough people to subscribe and enter into the contest, then we'll see how it goes in the future. But don't forget to follow me on Red Mug Music, and also facebook.com/Red Mug Music. Both places I'll post my videos. We'll talk about music, just normal, just everyday videos that I think is pretty cool, and also my playlist for the Reconstructed albums that I create. So check out those sites and let me know what you think there. So that's going to be it for this week. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe.